We're going to break down today 4 ways to know if your team is built to grow. Because what we've found over the years is that there's a lot of CAs, there's a lot of even associates, there's team members within practices that are not the right people, right? They're not the right people for your team. They're not the right people to help you actually grow your practice. And so what we want to do is help you to identify if you have people within your team that shouldn't be there, or if you have people that need to be trained more effectively, and really be able to identify the team that you have. Are they the right team to help you grow to the next stage within your practice? And so 4 ways to know if your team is built to grow. These are the 4 we're going to go through today. Number 1 is that they care about your mission. Number 2 is that they have the characteristics of an ideal team player. Number 3 is that they are equipped and encouraged to win. Number 4 is that they want to continue to grow. Let's get into each of these. Number 1, they care about your mission. I'm going to give you an example here. This is one of our clients, Dr. Greg Dudson, fantastic doctor, wonderful practitioner, and just provides really high quality care. And what we found when we started working with him is, he was in practice growth stage 1, kind of struggling with his practice. And a lot of it was because his team was not equipped to grow. And so as we started working with him and really started to putting in some of these things we're going to talk about today, we really got dialed in on connecting his team to the mission. And as they've done that, as they've worked together, his practice has doubled, and now it's nearly tripled. And he's getting ready to hire his first associate in 2025. And so this is the kind of things that can happen when you really get your team rowing in the same direction with your mission. And it starts with them caring about it. And that starts with you, Doc, being able to communicate it effectively. If you are a purpose-driven doctor who wants to help more people, then it's crucial that you clearly define your mission, your vision, and your values, and you can communicate that effectively to your team so they can rally behind it. The greatest illusion of communication is that it's actually happened. So many times we think that, we've said something and that's good enough. Like our teams are just going to get it and run with it. But that is just never the case. You've got to get used to repeating yourself. If you do it, I promise it'll help your team be much, much better. But you have to be able to communicate your mission, your vision, your values consistently over and over and over, literally on a daily basis, be talking about these things so that the team can align behind it and continue to grow. And so it starts with making sure that you are a purpose-driven doctor. Is your mindset really dialed in to help as many people in your community as possible? Because we've seen over the years, purpose is the driving force behind all top upper cervical doctors. This is something that goes back to, the founding of chiropractic, or the development of chiropractic with Dr. B.J. Palmer. He recognized this. He said, a man without a purpose can be distracted, but a man with a purpose cannot be stopped. And so that purpose for the doctor is absolutely crucial. They have to have that big purpose that's driving them. And when they do have that great purpose, then they can begin to communicate that to their team and their patients as well. But they have to be able to clearly spell it out to their team. It can't be just something that they're hoping their CAs, their associates will just catch by osmosis. They have to be able to communicate it and have it very clear. And so that starts with laying out these 3 key factors when it comes to the communication of your purpose. And that's your core values, your vision, and your mission. Core values is the values that determine how you and your team work together. Your vision is where are you going as a practice? And then the mission really is the why behind everything that you do. And so the core values, this is a collection of usually just words or phrases that define who you are as a team. It's what makes you a we, right? This is what we do. This is how we work together. This is how we are growing this practice. This is what we do together. They're essentially what your practice is all about. It's a collection of characteristics that outlines what it means to be a team member of your practice. And so defining those core values, we have a great resource on our website. You go to ucmgrow.com. You can click on resources and practice growth tools. We have a core values brainstorm there that can help you with this. If you don't have core values, highly recommend that you define them. But once you define them, it's not good enough to just define them. You have to talk about them consistently. You have to teach your team about them. You have to make sure that you're rewarding people with them, like that your core values are connected to how you call out team members. Hey, this is an example of this core value that you did today. This is an example. This is not an example of who we are, right? Both negative and positive examples have to be used in order to continually communicate those core values to your team. A vivid vision is the next part of this, and making sure that you have a clear vision of where you're going. You can ask yourself some key questions like, what's your practice going to look like when it's done? Or how many patients are you going to be seeing on a weekly basis? How many new patients would you like to see on a monthly basis? What's your target for collections? How many team members will work in the practice? What will your role be? These are some of the things to be thinking about as your practice goes through the different stages of growth. And a good way to break down a vision is into 3 basic sections. Who we are, that would include your core values. Who our patients are, right? That's you're focused on your niche, your target market. What are you doing? Who are you serving? And then where are we going? Like, what are we doing? That starts with all those questions there, right? Really defining all of that. What are we looking to do with this practice over time? So having that vivid vision and having that be part of meetings, having that be part of when you look at where you're going as a team, where you're going as a practice is crucial. And then lastly is this mission. The mission is a one sentence rallying cry, right? You want to make sure that this is something that you are very passionate about personally, and then that your team is passionate about as well. It has to be focused on a bigger purpose. It should be a crusade for your practice. It has to get you fired up and your team fired up, right? So that one sentence mission should be communicated every day. That should be talked about. That should be talked about in your morning meetings. Hey, today we are going to do this, right? For us at UCM, our mission is to bring hope and healing to sick and suffering people for the glory of God. I don't ever go through a meeting without saying that. I don't, every single time I meet with our team, I'm saying that mission. No one on our team is unaware of what our mission is, right? I constantly talk about it. And so that's the same thing you have to do. You have to make sure that your team consistently understands that this is what we're doing on a daily basis. And so that is number one. Your team has to care about your mission, but they can't care about your mission unless you communicate it clearly to them. And if you communicate it clearly to them and they're not excited about it and they don't care about it, then they are not the right member of your team. You cannot grow a practice with team members who don't care. They have to care. They have to care about your mission. They have to care about your patients. They have to care about your community. They have to care. And so, but it starts with you, Doc, communicating that mission, vision, values, and making sure that they are responsive to that when it comes to what you're looking to do.